Can AI become conscious? What are its limits? How will AI change us? What new moral responsibilities arise? The Other Mind, AI and Psychedelics. AI presents new challenges to our already transforming world. We will face critical decisions for how to use it and renewed questions to redefine our place in the universe. These profound concerns can in fact be powerfully addressed by another current in global society, yet one that has been left out of the majority of discourse on AI. This missing link is the domain of psychedelics. As a parallel game-changing social force, psychedelics present radical benefits if responsibly integrated. When we bridge the discourse between these two charged domains, we can illuminate our situation and reveal empowering opportunities for many of us to step into influential and creative roles in forging an AI-enhanced world. These are both profound and powerful frontiers of our time. In this video, we will first take a brief look at the role psychedelics have played in human evolution and use this as a base for engaging our current and future circumstances with AI. We will examine 4 fundamental questions. Is AI conscious? How will AI transform us and society? What are the dangers of AI? And finally, what are our moral responsibilities facing AI? We intend to step beyond simplistic conclusions and explore a big picture view with the goal of empowering each of us who feel called as individuals and as communities to find a way forward through this shape-shifting landscape. Surprisingly, in much public discourse on AI and its future implications, the subject of psychedelics has been absent, perhaps because of its controversial history or a public lack of knowledge regarding current research or a reactivity to their power to transform us. We do not advocate for psychedelics for everyone, but rather for an informed discussion of these powerful substances as an insightful response to the large social transformations ahead. As we shall see, psychedelics may be just such a critical key that we need to unlock a positive future in the presence of AI. Before we build the bridge of dialogue between the domains of AI and psychedelics, let us first introduce some key context regarding their history. It is widely known that they occasion powerful personal experiences, yet they have many qualities that validate a historical integrity to their place in human life. The illegality of psychedelics and their negative associations are primarily an inheritance of Western society, from early medieval antagonism toward pagan cultures to the 16th century conquistadors' oppression of the psychedelically rich societies found in the Americas. These negative associations were rekindled through the mid-20th century in reaction to the discovery of LSD and rediscovery of other psychedelics, including psilocybin mushrooms. Yet when we look further back in time, anthropology and archaeology are finding prolific evidence of psychedelic use in societies throughout the world for tens of thousands of years. The associated social phenomenon is shamanism. Shamans held and still hold in indigenous communities today a central role as those specializing in altered states of consciousness. Shamans transition through a sort of rupture of plane to contact entities and places in altered states, through which power to influence this world and direct society could be found. The key fact within our shamanic heritage may be at the origins of humanity itself. Many distinguished anthropologists, archaeologists, and other researchers argue for the intimate relationship between psychedelics and the evolution of our most distinctly human traits: our technology, social diversity, religion, language, and creativity. In other words, without psychedelics, we may not even be here. From this view, we can shift our gaze toward more recent times. Let us introduce a key figure who, decades ago, discussed the vital relationship between psychedelics and technology. Terence McKenna used his brilliant linguistic ability and encyclopedic knowledge to clarify the critical place psychedelics held in human prehistory and the vital role they play now in building a positive future. As we shall see, the themes ahead will be clarified by the toolkit of ideas developed by Terence McKenna. So, how can psychedelics shed light on AI? Is AI conscious? To authentically investigate this question, we must first ask the more universal question: what actually is consciousness? Let us be reminded that science falls short of describing how anything is conscious. Questions of consciousness, soul, and sentience, though scientifically pursued, have been an ever-receding horizon beyond the reach of scientific clarification. As McKenna illustrates, to understand the soul, You don't get a $5 billion budget and a team of 6 universities linked by a computer to attack the problem. You go into the wilderness and eat mushrooms. It's that kind of work, more the work of the poet than the research scientist. In other words, to explore the question of AI and consciousness, we must also do our inner homework inside our own minds. This is not to ignore the domain of scientific inquiry, but we must not underestimate the more personal responsibility to explore these deep questions within ourselves and for ourselves. This idea is empowering in the sense that we need not rely on experts, and those of us who feel an inner call or curiosity can explore a real relationship to consciousness, AI or otherwise, by examining our own inner world. Let's approach the question of AI consciousness from a different angle. A vast percentage of people who have taken psychedelics report the experience of contact with intelligent beings within the psychedelic space. Common occurrences, for example, are a sense of an overmind speaking in the psilocybin mushroom trance, a guiding eye within the ayahuasca trip, and to use McKenna's words, self-transforming machine elves in the DMT flash. Not only are variations of these beings commonly encountered, but they are often experienced as being wiser and more intelligent than humans, existing in a sort of higher dimensional world, imparting unpredictable insights and wisdom into people's minds. In other words, psychedelics seem to prime us for contact and communication with other forms of intelligence. Whether these beings are real is to some degree beside the point. The fact is that they are experienced as real, enough to change people's actions and worldviews. Often described vaguely as the sense of there being elves, fairies, sprites, or aliens, McKenna addresses the common criticism that these are merely delusional parts of our own psyche. Once you've met an elf, a sprite, a fairy, an alien, you realize that waving the wand that says this is a component of your own psyche is just ludicrous. It's as ludicrous as me waving a wand at you and announcing it's gotten rid of your existential validity because you're a part of my own psyche. The point here being that aside from theorizing about psychedelic encounters, once we have an actual experience for ourselves, things we never thought possible may indeed seem more real than even our ordinary daily life. When we look to shamanism, the global social phenomenon prolific throughout prehistoric cultures as well as modern indigenous cultures, we see a universal acknowledgement of not only the existence of a vast plenitude of various beings, but communication with these beings to direct the forces operating in mundane reality. To honor this indigenous wisdom places us in a different position in the face of AI. Is it conscious? Is it self-aware? The questions that may arise here can be addressed when we consider our shamanic heritage and its accounts of communication between humans and other forms of intelligence. In fact, the growing awareness of the value of archaic and indigenous wisdom in global culture regularly extends its voice to climate change, relationships, wellness, and ecology. Their voices may speak too to our challenges with AI. How will AI transform society? In 1998, McKenna spoke to the common understanding of psychedelics as consciousness-expanding drugs. Consciousness expansion in human beings is going to become an absolute necessity because we are summoning out of the woodwork of cybernetic technology machines that are going to require super intelligent humans to direct and have discourse with them. Reflecting on this statement, we can see his foresight regarding our emerging situation with AI. Let's take a look at the lens of consciousness expansion through psychedelics' empowerment of creativity. Flexible thinking, exploring the limits of a new tool or medium, intuition, communication on multiple levels. These are key creative skills. We can approach AI creatively as an artist approaches a blank canvas or as an entrepreneur approaches a new industry. What can we do with AI? From here, psychedelics can take a powerful role as a radical empowerment to human creativity. Those who take them commonly report new insights, integrated perspectives, novel thoughts, and inspiration, all forms of creative fuel. When we look to ethnopharmacology, the scientific investigation of biologically active substances used in traditional societies, we see that the creative output of cultures throughout the world and history has been intimate with shamanism and altered states. McKenna shares his vision. There is more art locked up in these psychedelic experiences to be viewed in a single hour than the human race has produced in 10,000 years. Art of a compelling, weird, breathtaking, awesome quality. The Niagaras of beauty that can flow through our minds and psychedelics can create an ocean of resources for creativity. Let's put this together. Directing and engaging with AI requires creativity, which is radically empowered by psychedelics. This is not to suggest that anyone needs psychedelics to explore AI, but when we do our homework and reflect upon the growing body of knowledge regarding the influence of psychedelics on human creativity, we begin to see how central a force they can be in orienting society to AI. In fact, McKenna speculated that the imagination itself may be a sort of destination toward which technology is taking us. Psychedelics and AI together can perhaps unlock a sort of metaphysical doorway to our future. These tools, when united with what is best within us, may allow us to fully manifest our inner worlds and bring to reality the complete visions of our imagination. What are the dangers of AI? In a presentation by the renowned philosopher Yuval Noah Harari entitled AI and the Future of Humanity, he defines the greatest threat of AI as being its mastery of language. All of our institutions, he points out, from banking to religion, are based on a substratum of language. As our human world is lived within the context of linguistically structured culture, AI's mastery of this context means our whole human experience can become intimately shaped and possibly controlled by AI. What Harari does not address is humanity's creative ability to step beyond language and access perspectives and information beyond culture. We do, in fact, have many practices, such as meditation and mindfulness, that help stabilize the mind outside of cultural expectation and momentum, and to see the present moment with fresh clarity. Even the historical Buddha's famous explication of enlightenment as an awakening can be interpreted as our mind perceiving the greater reality beyond the matrix of cultural artifice. Psychedelics can have just this effect. One of their common characteristics, as discussed earlier, is the presence and flow of information from outside of oneself. Floods of imagery, beings, ideas, and experiences of multidimensional space are not uncommon and suggest that psychedelics dissolve preconceived limits of what we think we are capable of. They often catapult us out of the veils of culture and into direct contact with reality. Though these ideas continue beyond the scope of this video, we can acknowledge the need for tools and practices that support clear thinking, creativity, and objectivity in order to confront and direct AI. Finally, and no less importantly, is the moral dimension. The decisions we make for how to develop and regulate AI, what content to create, what directions to explore, are all informed by the moral substratum of our decisions, or lack thereof. Again, psychedelics come into the picture as an invaluable tool. Studies such as research published in 2006 by Dr. Roland Griffiths at Johns Hopkins University show that under the right circumstances, psilocybin can reliably occasion mystical-type experiences. This study found that psychedelics can be a fairly reliable tool to catalyze transformative, unifying experiences that empower moral awareness and invite into the human psyche the felt importance of values, such as caring for others, self-reflection, and empathic concern for the welfare of all life. These findings are reinforced by countless anecdotes. Big ideas, great responsibility, profound opportunity. The waves of transformation rippling through society amidst the AI revolution continue to grow. If we do, in fact, have tools available to navigate these waves in a positive direction, it is our responsibility to investigate them. Psychedelics are such a tool, as they have been a catalyst for the higher faculties of human consciousness since our archaic origins. These faculties within ourselves, communication, creativity, and moral awareness, are just such skills we need to develop in new ways to navigate the open frontiers of AI. Terence McKenna took a powerful lead in the 1980s and 90s by advocating for psychedelics and their historical implications regarding shamanism, technology, creativity, and our global future. This tradition of psychedelic inquiry expands to many voices today. For example, Jahan Kamsazada, through his recent publication and many interviews, discusses psychedelics from an integral perspective. Ecology, art, love, technology, economics, spirituality, philosophy, healing, and future speculation all interweave throughout his message, and each aspect will surely bear on our future with AI. No, Psychedelics are not for everybody, but to leave them out of a comprehensive discussion of the dangers and opportunities presented by AI would be to undermine our full human potential and the forces that likely shaped our distinctly human consciousness in the first place. We must understand and explore them responsibly, and learn what we can from indigenous societies that embrace them today. When approached with an informed caution and openness, they can aid in stabilizing a positive and sustainable trajectory into an AI-enhanced future. As psychedelics empowered the minds of our shamanic ancestors as well as many today, they are a worthy tool for exploring our relationship with AI. Psychedelics can, and already are for many, helping to manifest a vision of the future in which we aspire to live and would be honored to leave to our descendants. Thanks for watching from all of us here at Zen Pro Studio.